Do airports discriminate against blind people or disabled people in general? That is a question that I want to ask today. Welcome to Blind Man Travels. Today we are going to discuss something that is kind of an open question that I've been thinking about. After I did my video about my circumstance with discrimination by Airbnb, link is in description, I want to discuss or ruminate about airport discrimination. Have I experienced airport discrimination? First of all, I myself would be hard pressed to say that I've necessarily had discrimination for disability at airports. I do think it does happen, but usually in my experiences as a disabled person, discrimination does occur because there is a lack of knowledge and understanding around disability. And the other thing to remember is that people with different disabilities have different needs, so there's never any one size fits all. So people with different disabilities require different accommodations. So for me, for example, if you're new to my channel, I am legally blind. I don't say that I'm totally blind ever, but I would say that I'm legally blind. So the best way to explain that is that my vision is 20/200. So the best way to describe that is that I can see at 20 feet what a person with perfect vision could see at 200 feet. So I'm going to use the same example that I've always used before. So if you and I are walking down the street together and you see a tree and it's 200 feet away, and you tell me there's a tree, I'm not necessarily going to see it until we get closer, and I won't see the detail that you saw 200 feet ago until we get 20 feet away from the tree. And by that point in time, your detail will be definitely better than my detail in regards to the tree. You'll be able to see more of it than I would. So I would have to get up close if I really wanted to see the detail, like the shape of the leaves or what the bark is like. So that's just a basic explanation about that. I've been lucky. I've been able to travel to Europe 4 times, been to Japan twice, and been to Singapore once. So I would say in my travels, accounting all the times I've flown back and forth, I would estimate I've probably had enough miles in the air to equal 3 times around the Earth. So as much as John Glenn, just not in space. When I go to an airport, me, myself, personally, I do not ask for a wheelchair. I've noticed that lots of airports have third-party contractors that are rendering assistance to disabled individuals. And usually what they want to do is they want to make you sit down in the wheelchair, even if that isn't necessarily what you need. But I always reject that because I don't have any issues with walking, because I can walk a pretty good distance. My issues are with reading signage. The other thing that you notice also at airports is that there are monitors everywhere that updates with departures and arrivals, and they usually update when flights are on time or delayed or have departed. So I'm grateful that I'm living in the 21st century, because usually I can look up those details on my phone without much of a sweat. But usually when I go through an airport, I usually do ask for a guide, not necessarily because I need a sighted guide. I usually prefer to follow somebody, though, so that they can show me the way to go. That's usually my preference in how I handle things, is I prefer to follow you if you're if you're showing me something. And that way I can maintain as much of my independence as I possibly can when I'm traveling. And remembering that there is there is no one size fits all for disability, and what accommodations are needed when going to airports and flying. It does make one curious as to what is the best resolution in that particular case. I welcome your comments. How would you address that as a disabled person yourself? Go ahead and post your comments in the comment section of the video. Also, if you like this channel, you like the content I am producing, and you want to see me complete my 12 metropolitan cities in 12-month challenge, go ahead and press the subscribe button, and also press the bell button for notifications. It's free and it does help the channel grow. So far, I have been to Los Angeles, Albuquerque, Houston, and now I'm in New Orleans. More travels coming soon. To see the video where I show how I addressed my Airbnb disability discrimination, click right there. If you want to see the video where I ate food from a New Orleans institution, click right there. I'm not sure where it's going to be because I am blind.